Hello everyone, this is your host, Gemma, bringing health and wellness conversations from North Idaho and across this region. I am so excited to chat with the entrepreneurs, creatives, and believers as we journey together to connect more deeply to ourselves, our earth, and our communities. Cheers to shining bright and supporting local. Welcome to Vibrant Living Conversations, episode 23. For today's interview, I am talking with Ashley, owner of By the Pound Coeur d'Alene, North Idaho's first zero waste market and refillery. I'm very excited about her business here in town that brings awareness and options for reducing packaging, as well as higher quality products for your home, body, and the planet. So welcome, Ashley. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi.
Yay! So I got to meet Ashley a couple of weeks ago. I've been meaning to go into her store forever, but I finally got to go in and I just bought some fun stuff. I spilt some stuff and I tagged Ashley about being on the podcast. So here she is. Yay!
Hi. My name is Ashley Romanowski, the owner of By the Pound. We just opened in the beginning of October, first week of October. So we've been officially open in our permanent location for about a month now.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's been good. Yeah.
So let's dive into, I know this is probably a very basic question, but zero waste market and refillery, like how would you, like what's your synopsis or your elevator pitch of what that means? And
Yeah, so a zero waste market is a space where all of the products are free from unnecessary waste. So when you go to buy a toothbrush, it's not wrapped in tons of plastic, random packaging. Your things are free of a lot of plastic. We don't do any plastic at our store, no plastic packaging. Any of the packaging we do have is recyclable, compostable, biodegradable. So you know that the things you buy have a positive impact on the environment, as opposed to you're buying it and throwing away all the packaging and it just kind of ends up in the water system, polluting the earth. All the not good things. I guess the refillery portion of the store is a space where you can bring your own containers from home, and then you can refill those with, right now we've got home products, beauty products, so things like shampoo, conditioner, laundry detergent, dish soap, hand soap, kinds of fun things.
yeah, I love it because I was in there and I've been stressed out about my laundry detergent for a long time, like the quality of it. And then the fact it's in like a gigantic plastic container, like the default ones that I'm like lazy at the store and I'm like, plastic everywhere, you know? So I'd heard about you and then I was trying to do research on other ways to be less plastic in the landfill. But it was awesome because I went in there and I hadn't really planned. It was on a whim. I'm like, I have to get in here. And you had like glass jars. So I could just go and like fill up one of the glass jars that someone else had obviously brought in and left with my laundry detergent. So now I love it. It's like perfect. And now I can come back, refill the same container. And I'm not getting rid of a gigantic plastic thing every like month or so. Right. So perfect. Yeah. And you had mentioned when I was in there that there's multiple versions of this like around the country. I'd heard of one, my sister-in-law told me about one that was opening in Kansas. And she was like, wait, what? There's one here. So is there kind of a group or support system that you think you mentioned for everybody?
Yeah, so we're kind of like a little tight-knit community of zero waste shop owners. We all kind of chit chat and throw ideas back and forth. And as we learn new things, we share them with the group. And that's where I got a lot of my information, because I am not super well versed. I would not say I'm an expert in zero waste recycling by any means. And they've definitely helped me kind of figure out what I need to do and where I need to go. So there's a lot of stores and there's more. I swear we add more people every day. The most recent one that I'm aware of in this area is over in Spokane. Her name is Hannah, and she just opened Spokane Refillery. And that one is just starting out as a pop-up, pretty similar to what I did back in April. So she's doing like pop-ups every weekend. But the idea of zero waste store, I think, kind of originated in the UK. They have far more stores there, and Canada are
Okay.
both pretty big. So a lot of the products I get are from Canada. They tend to be a little better at zero waste than we are here in the States. So I find a lot of my really awesome zero waste products from there.
I see.
They're slowly popping up more and more around the US. We're the first one in this area.
Right.
Next to the Spokane refillery that just opened same weekend as us, is Boise and then Seattle. So I'm hoping we can add a little more. There's some coming out in Montana, slowly but surely, kind of making their way across the US, but we're all kind of a little group.
I love it. Well, and I think it's also, there's a mindfulness and education piece to it. I think like the more that people start to see them around and start to question and be like, oh yeah, like the trash is getting full a lot less fast if I'm more cautious of this, and start to think about like that bigger picture beyond just like your immediate needs and the convenience of whatever. So I love that. It's like starting just to change the way that we think about how we live and how we treat our planet. I'm curious, what is your story and passion to, like, how did you get to here to be like, this is what I want to do. This is a business that I want to start. And like we talked about before we even started recording, like you're working another job and doing this at the same time. So it's like obviously a passion project that you believe in and are willing to work 6 days a week to make sure that you can get it going.
Yeah, so I moved to this area 2011.
Okay.
And I was like 10. I'm 21 now.
Yeah.
But when I was 18, I started getting into a little bit of activism. I did the walkout for gun control at Coeur d'Alene High School. So that was me, if anybody.
that time. Before.
Yeah, so that's how I kind of got started into working, making change in the community. I started there and then was going to school for a little bit. Eventually decided wasn't quite for me. I definitely wanted to pursue something that I loved and not just go because I could. So I decided to take a step back, middle of the pandemic, focus on working and building this business idea that I'd kind of been sitting on for a little bit. I've always been really passionate about making change in my community, being involved. I always go out and vote every election. Like I really enjoy being part of my community and more than just living and existing, especially when it comes to the environment. And I know that like the lake is a really big deal for a lot of people and it's super important. So I'm working to see how I can help in that aspect. So all these things kind of came together and I eventually came up with this idea after seeing some things online, seeing some other stores doing similar things, that I wanted to bring something like that to Coeur d'Alene. And eventually, middle of the pandemic, I decided I was going to go for it. Events were opening back up slowly but surely. So I started small, just did little pop-ups here and there, and eventually made my way into a permanent space that we're at right now, 2 days a week, Friday and Saturday from 11 to 6 p.m. And I currently share that space with Holly Brenner of Pollen and Petal. So she's a florist and she kind of reached out to me one day and she's like, I've got an idea for you. And we ended up merging and coming together and sharing our space, and I help her and she helps me. And
perfect.
Yeah.
Because what are you across from in the mall? I'm trying to think like because I was kind of meandering through and I'm like, I know it's in here somewhere, but what's
we're next to Bath and Body Works, across from Joann's.
Okay, perfect.
In that little area of the mall.
Yes. Yeah. So go find her. Yeah. So what's your ultimate vision? Like, I know this is a very like loaded question, but you're starting right now with your 2 days a week, which honestly, it's perfect. Like go on Friday and Saturday, get your soap, get your load up, like, but what's your vision and hopes for it?
Yeah. So my ultimate goal is to be a staple in the Coeur d'Alene community. So when people think I need to buy new laundry detergent, I need to get more dish soap, I need a new scrubber for the kitchen sink, they think of me first, of by the pound first is kind of my ultimate goal. Yeah. Definitely gonna take some time to get there. But I want to be able to make zero waste easy and accessible for everybody. It shouldn't be something where you have to try and pay crazy shipping rates to get all of your products delivered, which defeats the whole purpose because it's always comes wrapped in plastic. I want to make it easy and accessible. So we try and keep our products accessible prices, nothing too crazy. I just really want to be a staple for the Coeur d'Alene community.
Yeah.
And then as far as like logistics, I'd like to have a very large space. We can do like bulk foods as well as home goods. Eventually, one day down the road, it'll take some time and some doing, but we'd like to do that eventually, expand the products that we offer since we're so small right now. So that's kind of more size-wise, product-wise.
Yeah, but I mean, you're starting I mean, you go in there and I'll let you get more into the products, honestly. Like do you want to just talk a little bit about the array of products that you have and then how you source them and some of your favorites?
Yeah, so we've got not a huge selection right now, starting small, but we've definitely grown since April. I started out with just 2 refills, my shampoo and conditioner, and now we've expanded from just shampoo and conditioner to laundry detergent, hand soap, dish soap, and body wash. Most of our products that are refills come from a company based out of Minnesota called Rustic Strength. It's a little mom and pop business. They've definitely grown in the past couple years as more refill shops are opening. But they're a smaller local American company, whereas where I get a lot of my refills. My shampoo conditioner comes from Canada. Like I said, they're very good at the zero waste thing over there. So a lot of products come from Canada, but they are specifically a farm that farms all of their herbal extracts, and all of their stuff is made with no sulfates, parabens. It's a biodegradable formula. It's the best shampoo I've ever used. I've been using it since April. Not to bias, but it's my favorite. I loved it so much. As far as refills go, we try and keep everything as local as I can.
Right.
Eventually would like to expand and see if I can find other local businesses to bring into my space. As far as products go, a lot of the stuff that I get is from smaller businesses, either in the area or throughout the US and Canada. One of my favorite products of all time is No Poo Dry Shampoo. She's based out of Hayden.
Okay.
If you've ever heard of it, she's amazing. It's the best dry shampoo I've ever used in my life. And I'm so excited. We just brought that into the store a couple weeks ago. We've got things like sisal fiber bamboo kitchen sponges, scrubbers. We've got cognac sponges, which are very popular. Things like
what's a cognac sponge then?
it is an Asian root vegetable that's been kind of like ground down and mixed with some other thing that I can't remember what it is. And it's sponge. So it's made out of an Asian root vegetable and it's completely compostable at the end of its life. And it's super like soft once you get it wet, and it's really gentle exfoliating.
Nice.
So much so that you could use it every day and it doesn't like irritate your skin. People love it. It's lots of fun. And then when you're done with it, you can just bury it in the ground. There's nothing, it comes package free, or some of the ones you get online are like wrapped in special plastic saran wrap, which is completely unnecessary. That's one of our popular ones. I've got things like compostable packaging lip balm is one of my favorites.
Yeah, and they're like tiny and cute too.
Yes,
they're
they're little, they're the exact same amount as a chapstick, but they're just a little thicker. And that's actually, those are all handmade down in Las Vegas by someone I actually saw through TikTok. It's called Kobe's Co. I saw him making his lip balm one day and I was like, I need that in my store. So he hand makes all of those. So we try and find things from smaller businesses. A lot of our bamboo products obviously come from China. It's very hard to find them in other places, but the companies we work with follow a really strict set of standards for their factories and the way they treat the earth as well as their employees. So we make sure everything's really sustainably sourced.
Awesome. I love that.
Lots of things.
Yeah, and I think I was even, what were the what did you call the things that I put in the toilet? Like the toilet
The
bomb?
toilet bombs, yes, that is made by a mom in Michigan. That's kind of her thing. Yes, is she worked to develop cleaning products that are safe for her pets and her kids. So that is probably my most popular product is toilet bombs. I sell a lot of those. People love them. They're like a bath bomb for your toilet. They're super,
Right.
and you can use them in the garbage disposal, the washing machine. You can just set them out and they absorb odors. It's pretty snazzy. People really like them. They're a
Yeah.
lot.
And watching them just like fizzle like a bath bomb is like super fun for everybody.
Cleaning is a little bit more fun than it would be.
Yeah, no, I love this. And I bet it's so fun creating this community of like connecting with the mom in Michigan and the farm in Canada and the other people in Minnesota. Like, I love this story of slowly the story is changing and people are getting on board. And I mean, you mentioned there from everything from for the planet, yes, but for pets, for kids, like those toxins. And I mean, you can smell it when you bring something with like fake fragrance into your house and you're like, whoa, this is so bad, right? Like, and I mean, it smells bad, but like, what is that then doing to your body, right? And
Absolutely.
so I love this. Living Earth Naturals is another one of my local. Have you talked to her at all?
I think she's reached out to me once.
Oh, yeah.
I remember her from the farmer's market.
Yes.
Long time ago. The last time I saw her was when I was like 12 at the farmer's
Yeah.
a while ago. Yes, but I definitely remember her stuff. I know we worked with Mountain Madness a little bit. I had some of their shampoo bars for a little while.
Right.
Definitely hoping to bring more local stuff in as time goes on.
Yeah. And to have that community of just people like, on the same like mission, and it helps you not feel alone when you're up here, right? We're like, who else is speaking this language? So
absolutely. And so far, everybody who's seen the idea has loved it so far. It's very well received and people are really excited about it. So I'm super excited to see where I can take it and what I can turn it into, because it's just been growing and growing every month. Just started back in April and I'm already in my own location and setting business hours and definitely growing faster than I thought I would.
Yay. Well, and you're also following the breadcrumbs, right? You're like, no, I've got this feeling. I'm going to follow it. This is what feels more aligned for me than going to school and blah, blah, blah. Like, I love that. You're just following your breadcrumbs, your body and you're meant to be doing, obviously. So yay. So do you have some like basic tips for people who are trying to reduce their footprint? I mean, obviously come and shop with you, but beyond that, is there any like key tips that you've kind of picked up along the way?
So the big thing is it's not about one person doing zero waste perfectly. It's about everyone doing it imperfectly. So a lot of people think that it's this really difficult thing to transition to. I can't do it all right now, so I'm not going to do it at all. But it's really about starting small. So things like switching your plastic toothbrush out for a bamboo toothbrush, buying less plastic when you go to the store. Waste is inevitable in the world that we live in. There's no way to exist without some sort of waste. It is doable to some degree, but it's very, very difficult, especially for the average person. So when you go to the store, opt for the fruits and vegetables that aren't in the plastic container opposed to the ones that are. Simple things like that. It doesn't have to be taking out all the plastic in your house and throwing out every single plastic bottle and tub that you have so that you can buy fancy new ones and refill them. I definitely encourage people to bring in whatever bottle you have. If it's plastic, aluminum, whatever you've got, bring it in and refill that and use that. It's all, I guess it would come down to reuse what you have as opposed to buy more to be perfect.
Right.
So like my little soap dish, I don't even have one of mine from the store. I'm still using a little metal tin with rubber bands wrapped around it. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be perfect, but starting with small things. So swapping out your plastic dish scrubber for a bamboo and sisal fiber one, small things. It doesn't have to be overwhelming all at once.
Yeah.
I
love it. Well, and I think you just start to change the way that you think. And suddenly you're like, oh, I can repurpose this toilet roll for my kids' craft rather than going to buy a new craft, or I can go to the thrift store and buy clothes. It slowly changes so many things, just the way you start to live. So I love, and I think that's the human journey, is just chipping away, trying to get better. One thing, like, what is perfect anyway? Not realistic.
Absolutely. And
So,
you'll get farther starting small than doing it all at once.
yeah, it's not about overwhelming yourself. It's just about like, okay,
I definitely get wanting to do it all. You just want to do all the things all right now.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, and I think too, when you think about so many things going to the landfill, and like you kind of mentioned before, like the whole recycle process and sending things, it's, I mean, it's like, what can you do without even trying to send anything out of your house? Like things that are compostable, less plastic in general, glass. Yeah, so one step at a time.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, and I love that you mentioned before that you're starting to talk with Kootenai Environmental Alliance too. It's like connecting these community relationships with people that are thinking that way. And yeah, I mean, like you said too, all of the lakes. I mean, we've got so many beautiful resources around there, the trees, like, and the planet as a whole. And you can look outside and be like, okay, how can I do better for this beauty and to keep it for
absolutely
the long haul?
And it's definitely changed the way I think about when I go to the store. I'm like, do I need this? Or can I find something I already have at home? Or find something that's in a little less packaging? Or do I really need to? It's definitely changed the way I shop, for sure.
Yeah, totally. And I think I noticed I was going to Costco and buying like apples in the plastic, like wrapped in plastic. And this is like, oh, and even them recently, I've noticed there are compostable or brown paper packages. So you can see slowly but surely. I think on a higher level, it's starting to be required, but it's also, we're realizing it feels good to like actually feel like you're contributing in a better way too. So
super important.
Yeah, I love that. Was there anything else that you wanted to touch on before we get into how people really can reach you? And
nothing specific, I don't think. Nothing I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay. No, I think we touched on like the key points. And I mean, people can come and find you 11 to 6 at the mall Friday
and Saturday.
Yeah. And isn't there a community market like year round now on Saturdays?
So that's actually how I started. I started at the Silver Lake Mall Community Market. They were doing Saturdays and Sundays for a little bit. I think now that the fall time has rolled around, they've cut it down.
Okay.
To just a couple markets, but I think starting November, they're going to start doing like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, interesting.
Because they're bringing in all the kiosks in the middle. So there's no room for the market per se, but they've found one of their bigger spaces. They've been able to put some vendors in there. So it's a market of sorts.
I see. Cool.
Yeah. So I'm technically there Friday, Saturday, 11 to 6. We've got a couple people running the shop, I believe 10 to 1 on Sundays. So we're kind of there 3 days a week. Especially throughout the holiday season. Start to get a little busy.
No, that's exciting. Yes. And I love that the mall is also like getting creative of bringing more and more people in. I mean, it's such a big space. It's very central. Like, and
it's nice to see people use I know the last time I'd been to the mall, I think I was like 13. And we'd go and just wander around the mall. So it's nice to see people actually want to come to the mall for more than just like Bath and Body Works.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I came in specifically for you. I'm like, where is it? I need to find it in here.
Definitely seeing an uptick in the amount of people that are coming to the mall, especially on those market days, weekend days. Super busy, surprisingly.
Yeah, I love that. So obviously people can find you in person, but otherwise like following you, you're on Instagram and Facebook, right?
Instagram, Facebook, by the pound CdA.
Yep.
Same across the board, bythepoundcda.com. I'm reachable just about anyway.
Yeah, awesome. So I always like to end with my favorite question I'm all about vibrant living, glowing from the inside out, mind, body, spirit. Are there 3 people locally that have inspired you to live vibrantly?
Yeah, so I think my first person's going to be Holly Brunner, the one who I share my lovely space with. It's technically her space. I'm just there. She's the owner of Pollen and Petal, and she's a
Okay.
local florist. She's actually doing my wedding next year. But yeah, so she works day and night to create, I swear, some of the most stunning floral arrangements I've ever seen. I've never seen someone work so hard. She's there till the middle of the night working
Oh,
on these flowers. And I think she's just so awesome. She's given me so many tips and we bounce ideas back and forth off of each other. And she's really been there to support me and really given me an amazing opportunity that I wouldn't have otherwise had to get my business going.
yeah.
If I tried to do it all by myself all at once, it would have been way more expensive and time consuming. But I've got her kind of on my team to help me out and get me to where I'm wanting to go one day.
I love that.
Definitely one of my big inspirations.
Yeah, totally.
The next one's kind of a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
Jennifer and Andy Morsel over at Mountain Madness. I don't know if I said their last name right. So sorry for that. But they are some of the nicest people I have ever met. I love their company values. They treat their employees so kindly. They're amazing. I love their Pride soap that they have. I have a very similar thing, Pride toothbrush. It's kind of
Yeah.
I just stole that idea from them, but they donate a portion, or maybe I think all the proceeds, to the North Idaho Pride Alliance. So I can snatch that idea off of them. But I think they've done a really good job of becoming a staple in the community, and people, when they hear Mountain Madness, know. And they always provide such a good experience, and it smells really good in there. I love their store. So
I love
great.
just going in and like looking at designs. I can get all my gifts there because you can find something.
Everything.
Fun. Yeah.
Yes. And all the cute little bathtubs and their cute little dog. I think they've really created a really strong brand
For sure.
that really focuses on community and bettering the community.
Yes.
I love that about them. So they're kind of a little business inspiration of mine to be as amazing as they are one day.
Yes, there's a lot of amazing inspirations around here. And I think it's someone that's like willing to take their passion and, like you said, do it in like a wholehearted, intentional, loving way. Is Absolutely. You watch them thrive. You're like, that is who I want to be when I get big, you know?
Absolutely. They are all those people. For sure.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I look forward to watching you grow. I just commend you for starting and just chipping away at it, and for providing me with my laundry detergent.
I'll be there Fridays and Saturdays.
Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you again.
All righty. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining Ashley and me today. I love her drive to build her business step by step, and by advocating not for being perfect, but for chipping away at changing your habits for the better of the planet, community, and your family. I hope you are inspired to be more mindful as you shop. As I continue this journey of discovery and holistic living, I hope you join me as I get to know more awesome, inspiring people in this Inland West region. Please feel free to share, like, and let me know who you'd like to hear in the future. Sending all the love, light, and vibrancy. Till next time.